Hi, how are you guys here? Coming from a wet, rainy day on Wednesday at Solace. A disappointing loss at Newcastle. It's always a tough game up there, going on the road up north. Of course, we lost to 10 men again. It was a difficult game. It was a worldly. The goal was a worldly, I think. Malacia just showing lack of pace, lack of game time, lack of speed. But we're still third. It's disappointing that we lost this game while Liverpool won. While Liverpool lost. So it was a good opportunity for us to get some space on the table. But we just have to go again. Yeah. You want to come in? Okay. Yeah. What's your name?
Callum.
What? Oh, we have a Geordie here.
Hey, Russ. Pleased to meet you.
So let me start with the United fan. It was a tough result because Liverpool lost, Villa lost, and it was a good opportunity for us to create some space on the table. We came up against 10 men in the second half, but it always seemed like if Newcastle was on the front foot for 10 men. What are your thoughts?
It was a shit performance. A loss has been coming for a while. We were crap against West Ham, Everton, Palace. I think it was a harsh second yellow card. I don't necessarily think he dived. The United fans, I think, kind of sold it. But, it is what it is. His first loss since December 21st.
Yeah. What do you think about, do you think there was any point in the game where we could have won it, like put it to bed, especially playing against 10 men? Like I said, I feel like although Newcastle was playing with 10 men, they were on the front foot. They weren't really playing a low block. So I felt like if Xerxes came up with something special, Sesko was kind of like not there. It's almost like if I don't know if he just didn't have that impact he had coming off the bench, obviously in the prior games, and then obviously the last game he scored, but it just seemed like if he wasn't really there. Bruno got the first assist. He was on there, but where do you think we could have won this game?
I don't.
You don't?
I think we looked devoid of ideas.
Yeah. We were it's almost like if we were very dead in the first 30 minutes of the game. Like, Mbeumo looked lost. He got hooked by Carrick. Manu was kind of like non-existent. Like it was a very confusing first 30 minutes. Then we got the red card. That kind of gave us a little bounce,
I think the problem with a 4-2-3-1 going up a 4-3-3 is the midfield gets flooded against us, and Manu and Casemiro aren't the most mobile of midfielders, especially when you're going up against Joelinton and Tonali.
Very, very physical midfield. They're a very like Newcastle has a very physical midfield.
It's not just physical; they're quick.
Physical and quick. Yeah.
Manu and Casemiro are not quick.
No.
And I love Manu to death. Like, he's United through and through. I hope he's there for a very long time. But he needs a quick midfielder like Tonali next to him.
Yeah, Tonali.
You don't deal with counterattacks very well. So you fail to monopolise on that advantage that you had, and it was a 10-man syndrome. It's either going to buckle the opposition and you're going to overrun them and you're going to score 3 or 4 goals, or you're going to completely be paralysed. And it appears that you didn't get any leadership. So it felt like there was no leadership there. So you had plenty of missed opportunities. That there was, I felt as a Newcastle fan, I should have been saying at least a 3-1 advantage to Manchester United. And
with a man down, right?
With a man down. And I hate to admit that. So when you guys were it felt like the midfield was empty. It felt like there was no kind of leadership in the midfield. It felt like you had some great attacking opportunities, but you didn't monopolise on it. And then that was it. We were doing the counter attack.
And let me talk about, because you guys were ripe for the upset. Tonali was out. Bruno was out.
Yeah.
It felt like if you guys were vulnerable You guys have a stacked schedule. Barcelona in the Champions League. You guys have
Man City in the
FA Cup. FA Cup. Yeah, Barcelona. So, yeah. And it seems like if your squad, it's almost like if, playing on all those fronts, like your squad is kind of thin with injuries because you guys are not accustomed to playing that deep of a schedule. But somehow you guys showed some heart today. Like you guys really took it. You guys, like I was telling him, you guys really took it to us today, even with 10 men down.
We're very lucky to have Eddie Howe as a manager, and Eddie Howe is the glue that keeps that team together. We see that every time. We were talking about this before. Eddie Howe would be a great Manchester United manager. He would be a great England manager, and this is what we've got. And we've got 3 or 4 classic players who are working very hard to keep the team together. Tonali, I mean, the old school Trippier. Yeah. You've got Tonali, you've got Joe Linton. Joe Linton's really good, yeah. So we're very fortunate that way. And we also have the home advantage. Every Premiership team knows if you go to Newcastle, there's a risk of an upset. Yeah.
The Geordies are always tough up north. So let me get the last speak of the United fan. So next week, I think our next game, obviously we're playing. We're not in Europe. We're not in the FA Cup. We're not in the Carling Cup. A problem is coming up with the lack of games. Where do we still keep abreast of being conditioned for the games coming up? Having the guys keeping it, because the team seemed so dead in the first 30 minutes, and we're playing one game a week. So where do we go from here? This is the first, and also this is the first test. This is the first loss by Carrick as a 2-time interim manager. Where do we go from here?
Well, it's Aston Villa, isn't it? Away.
Yeah.
And that we're going to react the same as we did against Arsenal and Man City. Okay. We'll play really well.
Yeah.
The next week, then what do you do?
Yeah.
I think we beat Villa. I think we finished top 5.
Yeah, I think hopefully the coefficients for the Champions League comes back in favor of the Premiership, and the top 5 goes to the Champions League next year. I think Champions League football is kind of guaranteed for now. But to your point, do you think Carrick makes any changes to the 11?
I think he goes back to Mbermo on top, and then Ahmad on the right, and he brings on Zesco.
Exactly. I was telling Femi, I was like, I don't know if you watch Clash of the Titans, right? You don't release a Kraken at the beginning of the war. You release a Kraken when you're losing, right? And I feel like if Sheshko was our Kraken, like release a Kraken, and then he just comes in, he's 6'5", you can jump like a gazelle. Like I feel like if we have lost that sense of like surprising the opposition at the 60th minute when their legs are tired.
No, I disagree with that actually. I think you got marked out the game really well today by Dan Burns, because Dan Burns is
6'5". He's 6'5" also, exactly. 6'5" against 6'5". That's a good point.
So I think, I don't think the service was there for him at all today, whatsoever. Okay, and like when we were 1-1, you've got a 6'5" striker hanging around the 6-yard box. Put the ball in the box, and they weren't.
Yeah. Tough loss. I think, like I said, this kind of brings us back down to earth. It's a lot better than we've had at the beginning of the year, up till Amarim was fired. I think we still see this is the manager that we need to get behind and back him. And we can bounce back from this. I think we have the capability to bounce back from this. I think this is actually a good learning lesson for Carrick as a preview to deal with some adversity, right?
100%. 2-0 against Villa. We finished top 5.
All right. Thanks a lot. What's your name?
Ronak.
What's your name?
Jeremy.
Tough loss on this rainy Wednesday evening in Washington, D.C. What are your thoughts on the game, Ronak?
Well, I think I don't feel as bad about it, just given what else happened in the Premier League today. The fact that we're still able to maintain our place in the standings.
Yeah.
And also that we've been on a good run so far. So one loss, I guess when you take it in the big context, in 8 games isn't so bad.
Yeah.
But losing to a team with 10 men for an entire half is pretty brutal, especially when you consider it's not like we had so many chances and things just didn't go our way. And then a worldie gets scored, which it did. But even in that second half, it didn't feel like we had too many breakaway chances, maybe minus the Lenny Yoro one.
Yeah.
And then obviously Xerxes created a pretty great chance on his own, but I just didn't feel like we opened up play enough. And I just took a look at the stats. We were fairly even, and they only had 10 men for one half. So I thought that was a little bit disappointing. But
Do you think like the 10-man hoodoo is kind of like we just wanted to break that cycle again, right? It's almost like it comes back into a psyche, like playing against 10 men. But this time, though, it's 10 men on the road. So that makes a difference. And then Newcastle is renowned for having a very good fan home-based atmosphere. So although they were playing with 10 men, the home crowd is always into the team. And I feel like if they fed off of that. What do you think?
yeah, I think they did. I think they defended very, very well in the second half. And the fact that they were able to get a goal so quickly after going down with 10 men getting the penalty at the end of the first half, I think certainly inspired confidence within them. But I think for a club at United's level, look, I think crazy results happen in football or soccer. And when it doesn't go your way, it's all right. I'm a little bit more disappointed in the fact that we just didn't create so many chances in the second half. It's not like we forced their goalkeeper to make so many tough saves and then they just had like one shot and that was the end of it. I think it would have been a little bit more easy to digest for me if we had more shots. They just had that one shot that ended up in a goal, and it's like, okay, sometimes that can happen in football. Okay. But yeah, I think just the way we didn't get enough chances was a little bit tough for me.
Okay, let's come here.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Kind of like come back to earth moment, right?
I mean, from the start, we didn't start well. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace, same start. Got lucky with the red card.
Yeah, the first 30 minutes was dead, right? It was almost like if no one wanted, like.
It's just, we weren't there. I mean, we have the rest. I think that might hurt us, but this was a quick turnaround, so we have the impetus to continue our strong foot forward. It just wasn't there. We just had missed passes, weren't finding the connections. We just weren't pushing on.
What do you think about Šeško? What do you think about Šeško in this game? I think the previous fan just said that I forgot his name. The central defender for Newcastle is like 6'5" also.
Yeah, Dan Burns. I mean,
Dan Burns.
The tough part is when we start Šeško, it really drains the bench. We don't have any impact subs.
Yeah.
I mean, Ahmad is great, but he's a winger.
Yeah.
And
Ahmad hasn't been the same since AFCON, right? He just hasn't come. It's almost like he left something in Morocco.
I think it's just in his head. He is getting a little bit one-dimensional, but he has to get away from that. And I don't know, it's just perplexing. It's just we don't have the depth.
Yeah.
I think that's what it really comes down to. It's just lack of competitions is really helping us. I think if we were in multi-front, we would be probably 8th.
Yeah.
So we're a bit lucky.
Oh, you think so? You think so?
Yeah.
Even under Carrick?
Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter.
With the current squad, because the current squad is too thin.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we had to bring on Malacia.
Yeah, I know.
Like, mate, come on. Like,
Do you think Malacia? Do you think we're too hard on Malacia, given that he's been out almost 2? Yeah, exactly. Almost 2 years.
I mean, if you look at it, he's just turned off.
Yeah.
And he just.
No real time game time speed.
Like 10 minutes today. Like
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think that's enough. I think I've loved Carrick's decision since.
Well, Mazarawi pulled up with an injury, so he had no choice.
He pulled up with an injury, so yeah, that was tough. I don't think he was expected to go in. I've loved pretty much all of Carrick's decision making since he's come to the club. If I have to be a little bit critical, I wasn't the biggest fan of bringing in Delo and Ugarte as early as he did in the second half when they're down with 10 men. It's not like we're protecting a lead and we need to defend. Like, the game is going to open up. We got to use whatever attacking players we have. And to Jeremy's point, on the bench, there really isn't that many attacking options if Sesko isn't starting. Like, I haven't seen Mason Mount come on in games.
Well, Mason Mount is injured.
Right.
He's injured, so I don't even think he's an option.
He's not an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Delo was the right choice to bring on. He brings a more attacking force, but
But do you think Delo should have started? I know.
I don't think so. I think Mazraoui,
Should have started?
yes, because we were away from home, and the Toon Army's loud, so we needed a more defensive presence on that right wing.
But has Delo looked a lot better under Carrick?
Yes, but
Yes.
a manager can't change a player. He switches off. He's a very forward first.
Yeah, of course.
So
I'd agree
you
with
cannot rely on that when you're playing the Toon Army.
Yeah.
And I agree with the starting lineup, but it's just come summer, Ineos needs to make some moves, which they proved last summer that they know what they're doing. But we'll see. I mean, look at the match today. Tonali, take them.
Yeah.
Guimaraes, take them.
Yeah.
Even Lewis Hall, take them. We need depth.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. We just don't have the resources to draw on. And when we need somebody, we just don't have that. And it's just, that's the bottom line.
All right, last words for both of you guys. Let me start with you. We have Villa next. What do you think? Like I said, it's disappointing because Liverpool lost, but to your point, it's status quo, right? The table hasn't really changed. What do you think? What are the changes do you think we need to do for Villa?
Oh, that's a tough question. I'm not sure starting lineup. There is too many more changes we can make. I mean, maybe we can look, as Jeremy alluded to, like making Sesko super sub where it feels like he is able to make a little bit more of an impact in his physicality when he gets brought on at an advanced stage, able to wear defenders down a little bit more. I'm a little bit more hopeful about Villa, especially the way that they've been playing recently. I think they've been on a bit of a downstretch, and
The pressure is coming on.
the pressure's coming on them. They just lost 4-1 to Chelsea today, and we're gonna go back home. I think it'll be a little bit easier for us to attack over there. So I'm still fairly optimistic. I'm just disappointed at how the result played out today.
It was a worldie though. It was a worldie.
It was a worldie.
So it was a worldie. Jeremy,
Exactly, yeah.
Jeremy, last words.
Villa is going down. We're going to beat them. I think that's a given. They're in a really bad form, but I think as a whole, we have to reconsider our recent streak and really look at why we've been winning. And why we've been winning is because other teams have had more obligations, and we have to kind of come back to earth and have a kind of humbling experience, which I think today has been.
Yeah.
I mean, before today, we were like 12 unbeaten or something like that. So
Because you're playing one game a week.
it's a sobering game where, I mean, you had some folks saying, why not we maybe win the league? But it's just not realistic. But we seem to be on the forefront and really just push on it. But I think easily we finish third because others have more games than us. And if you look at Chelsea, who's our closest competitor, their run-in of fixtures is diabolical. Honestly, half of them are top six.
They have a Carling Cup final, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Arsenal, Chelsea, right, in the Carling Cup final? Or did they beat Chelsea? It's Arsenal City. It's Arsenal City. It might be Arsenal
mention
City.
the Scouse.
Yeah.
They are shit.
Yeah.
Down with the Scouse.
Yeah. All right. Well, today, like I said, it's disappointing. We felt that with Liverpool losing, Villa losing, that we could have taken advantage of going up in the table, 6 points clear of Liverpool. But yeah, it's a learning process. I think this is Carrick's first official loss. He has never lost. He's always drawn or won as a manager. And to Jeremy's point, I think the lack of football during the week is catching up to us. These other teams are playing 2-3 games a week, and I think that is kind of like actually killing us. Yeah.
We have to be careful we don't get in the Ollie syndrome where it's like too much of hoorah, do your thing. It's make sure it's not a party. It's an organization, and we have to be serious about our football. Yeah. So he needs to get a little bit harsh. Hopefully, he's given them a good ironing, like Sir Alex, the gaffer. So.
All right. Well. Like I said, it's a tough 2-1 loss against 10-man Newcastle. I mean, losing against 10 men is always humiliating, but I mean, it was 10 10 men at Newcastle, which is always a tough place to play. But hopefully we can bounce back against Aston Villa in the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're playing so many fewer games this year. It's hard to track. You know, it's so unaccustomed to us playing. You know, we normally play at least 60 games a season. Right. Now we kept to 40.
I think Carrick as a manager, got outclassed today.
Okay.
If you look at the halftime changes that Newcastle and Eddie Howe did, they stacked the midfield, and we didn't address that. We had 2 in the midfield, and that's where they really took over. Okay. So we addressed that. Yeah,
well, hopefully against Villa, you know, this is a game for the team to contemplate on, and then we can bounce back against Villa and continue the momentum into the top 4 and cement in Champions League football. Signing off from Solace in Washington, D.C., Red Devils District Podcast.